Hello, Power fans of Mathonical, and welcome back for the wrap-up and post-game thoughts. So I've been testing out this deck for quite a while now, and by quite a while I mean like 4 days. And I've tried a few different iterations of it, and this is the one that felt relatively clean, but I still notice there's a few parts that needed to be worked on. Namely, I could never figure out a matchup where I actually wanted to bring the the Ninja of the Deep Hours in. So why don't we cut it? My current version now actually has the Stormbound Geists in that position. I feel like that's a lot better against decks that are trying to kill our creatures. It's a more robust threat to really get in the air, and if our opponents are trying to attack us with flying creatures, I feel like this does a much better job of really gumming it up. Outside of that, I'm still debating on whether I want more Dazes, and if I do, what to take out. Please let me know in the comment section down below what kind of changes you guys, like everyone has on their mind. Everyone here usually comes up with great ideas, and it really gets some good discussion going as to which directions these decks can take. I really did enjoy playing this list, and when you're starting to go off with the Jace's Erasure and the Rider, it really feels powerful. Especially like that one game where we're milling over 30 cards in a turn. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, it is a tough deck to pilot. We have to decide whether we're going on the damage plan or the mill plan, and when to pivot. I have played some games against Boggles, for example, where I'm winning the damage race, and then I see an Erasure on top, and I decide to keep it because I'm not sure if I can beat an Armadillo Cloak, for example. Turns out to be the right choice in that case, but you can really see how we're trying to go two different routes. If we only mill out 40 cards and they still have a few left in their library and we lose, well, that might have been because we had a few creatures that could have been more draw spells. Or vice versa, we could get them down to like 2 life, and then we have a Jace's Erasure, which is just kind of milling out a couple cards. You can see how this deck is a little torn between identities in its current iteration. But that said, both sides of it are very powerful. The being able to get in some early damage is really good against slower decks. Being able to go for the mill plan against decks with a lot of removal is also very powerful. So the duality of it makes it a lot harder for this kind of strategy to be countered. And then we basically are waiting for our draw spells to draw the right part of the deck at the right time. We do have a lot of filtering, we do have a lot of ways of resetting our hand with the Rider, so I really do like the direction this deck is going, and I feel like we can bring it a lot further. I hope Jared James B doesn't really mind the fact that I'm showing some of this deck in action. It's definitely going to generate some more hype around it. It is a really nice deck, and thank you for playing this deck and 5-0ing with it often enough that I decided I had to give it a try. This is a great deck, and it was definitely a little different for me to be playing blue for one of these decks. I hope nobody minds, but don't worry, I'll be going back to non-blue decks soon. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. It lets me know that you would all like to see more videos, get some discussion going. It keeps the thoughts coming for how to make our decks better, and it will help us improve our gameplay. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.